Accused hitmen are due to apply for bail in the Durban Magistrates Court today in connection with the contract killing of 37-year-old businessman Kidesh Ramjettan in Rossburgh, south of Durban. The suspects were arrested in Gauteng by the KwaZulu-Natal Provincial Task Team last week. The firearm believed to have been used during the shooting was also recovered. The suspects face charges of murder. We now cross live to our reporter Mlungisi Khumalo, who's outside of court. Mlungisi, what's the mood outside court?
A warm good morning to our viewers at home as well as to you there in studio. You asked earlier on what's the mood outside court. Well, it's a very, very somber mood as friends of the late Kidesh Ramjettan are making their way into court, and some of them in fact are already here already. You'll also recall that 37-year-old Kidesh Ramjettan was shot dead on the 22nd of August by an unknown hitman. But just last week, 3 men were actually apprehended and arrested by the KwaZulu-Natal police in Gauteng, just to put that into perspective as well. And now we also found out that a gun was found in one of the men's possession, and the gun is also actually said or believed to be that killed 37-year-old Kidesh Ramjettan. Now, also quite interesting enough is that we spoke to Kidesh's mother, 74-year-old. Basically, she said that she was very, very heartbroken that her son was actually killed in such a manner, and all they wanted as a family was just justice. And of course, we found out that last week 3 men were arrested. Amongst the men that were arrested is a man that is said to have pulled the trigger, and 2 of his accomplices as well. Now, also quite interesting enough, when we spoke to some of the family members, we asked why were the 2 people arrested, because the shooting was actually caught on CCTV. Now, information that was actually given to the media is that 2 of the men were actually people that were also deployed to be on the lookout as well. Now, we also believe that this hitman was actually paid a sum of money, but at the moment we do not know how much of money was paid. And last week, 3 of the suspects appeared at the Durban Magistrates Court. And of course, when they appeared, the magistrate said they have this week to make their bail application. Like I mentioned earlier on, is that we've got family members of Kidesh Ramjettan as well as some of his employees, because he owned a garage up in Rossburgh, just near Durban. Now, if you can just look behind me, there are billboards, some written, "No bail for hired killers, justice for Kidesh, justice for Kidesh, no bail for Kidesh." And of course, that just goes to show how devastated the community was, as well as his family. But to tell me more about today's gathering, I've got his brother Umesh Ramjettan. Thank you very much for your time, Umesh. Today you've got signs written, "No bail." Just tell us, how did it come about?
The family decided that in this case where Kidesh was killed, we strongly believe that the shooter and people involved in this matter should not be given bail.
When I interviewed you not so long ago, you seemed very, very devastated. In fact, you said all you wanted was justice. All you wanted to know is why your brother was killed.
Yes, this is just part of investigation. The 3 people that were arrested were obviously people that were physically involved in this killing. But obviously there's other people behind it that paid for this killing. And we need to find out who these people are and why did they pay to kill my brother.
When I spoke to you earlier on just off the camera, you said that you were disheartened and very, very devastated. But now the killers have been found, the alleged killers rather. What's your general mood?
Look, we will never get closure on this matter, but we lost a good soul. But at the end of the day, we want justice for my brother, and we want some sort of comfort in the end, and we want my family, especially my mom and dad, they want to know why this happened and who did this.
And most importantly, for the viewers at home, what kind of person was Kidesh? I mean, was he involved in any wrong dealings as far as you know?
No, Kidesh was never involved in any wrong dealings. He was a family man. He was 37-year-old. He had a 2.5-year-old son. He was married for 6 years. He was a bubbly person. And he was our little brother, so every decision he took or made, he always consulted our family.
And lastly, we understand that his wife, as well as his son, as well as your mother, is not here. Why is that?
I think they're too upset. I mean, they're still grieving. They haven't received any closure on this matter, and we're hoping in the next few days we should get some closure on this matter.
Just before I hand back on studio, lastly, Umesh, you said that you're also living in fear because you do not know why these people attacked you.
Yes, obviously, because we haven't found a motive as to why Kidesh was killed. So, at the back of our minds, the killers are still there. The people that paid are still out there. So we're taking certain precautions to look after ourselves as well.
Thank you very much. That is Amesh, the brother of the late 37-year-old Kidesh. As he mentioned, that as a family, they are also living in fear because they want to know why their younger brother was actually killed, execution style to be more precise. Now, we also understand that the video of Kidesh's killing has been circulating around social media as well. It has made rounds, and also quite interesting enough, what actually led to also one of the hitmen's killings, because one of the police officers noticed the way that that alleged killer was walking, and he actually pointed it out. And of course, upon further investigation, they found a gun, and that same gun has now gone for ballistic testing rather, in order to find out whether was it exactly the gun that was used. Over back to you in studio.
Thank you there to Mlungisi Khumalo.
Interesting case indeed.
Yeah.
Just a reminder, we are asking